Because I know how it ends.
How what ends?
Hey everybody, Colton here, and we need to talk about some big pieces of Avengers Doomsday news. Apparently, the ending of the film is currently up in the air, as in they don't know how the movie ends, and yes, they are already deep into production without a completed script, which is just concerning. But I am not freaking out yet, and I think that I do kind of already know how this film is going to end. I think it's going to end in the only way that it really could end, in the same way it was going to end when it was still Avengers The Kang Dynasty. So we'll talk about that, and we are going to take a look at our first official on-set image from the film, as well as a leaked set video that has massive implications for the plot of the film. And there's also a major Doctor Doom tease that we'll discuss here shortly that is reportedly in Fantastic Four First Steps, and may finally be giving us an idea of who the hell this RDJ version of Doctor Doom really is. And we also got some reports on what the hell is happening with the incursions between realities and which realities are involved, all setting the stage for Secret Wars. Alright, let's get started. So, Marvel is notorious for starting filming on projects before the script is done, and that makes me want to ram my head into the fucking wall. But having said that, I'm not freaking out. Can you tell? Can you tell I'm not freaking out? In a perfect world, yes, they would already have the script locked down and perfect before they start filming the thing. That is something that James Gunn has said is a strict rule over at DC Studios. Nothing starts rolling until the script is finalized. Now, I know Marvel has a very big schedule to keep, and they've already been in a really tough spot, having to move a bunch of different things around with the Kang Dynasty now becoming Doomsday. And I recently did a video talking about how glad I was to hear that they are delaying Avengers Doomsday and Secret Wars, because that told me that they have a plan. They want that plan executed correctly, and they realized that in order to do so, they needed more time. So while I do wish that they hadn't started filming the damn thing before the script was locked, I do understand that with a movie like this and the scheduling nightmare to bring all of these characters together, sometimes you really don't have a choice. I mean, sure, they could have delayed filming by a month or two, but that could have resulted in them having to delay filming even more so, maybe even by a year or more, before they could get everyone locked back down and together to make the movie. I mean, this cast is gigantic, and these are all, like, you know, big names, big actors with busy schedules. It is hard, really hard, to get all of these schedules locked down. And if you go too far off schedule, you'll often run into situations where a lot of your cast is already contracted to be on sets for other films. So while I am not thrilled to hear that they don't have the ending locked, I am confident that they are at least trying to make it right. And I mean, fuck, we all know how the movie's gonna end, right? The multiverse, it's going to collapse. They all land like in the void, which will serve as battle world like in the comics. We'll see Team Doom fight Team Good Guys, and then Wanda and Franklin Richards and Loki, they'll use their reality manipulation powers to rebuild the multiverse. Boom, I just wrote the ending. You're welcome. Get it done. By the way, my lovely wife made this great Doctor Doom and Iron Man pointing meme shirt. You can get yours at the link in the description below. Now, speaking of the multiverse collapsing, let's talk about this on-set image we got, as well as the incursions and who discovers them. So in this set image, we see The Thing, Falcon, and John Walker all together. So we have the members of three different teams here: the Fantastic Four, the New Avengers, and Sam Wilson's Avengers. But what's even bigger is this set video that was recorded by none other than Thor's stunt double. And if you look here on the floor, holy shit, they are in the TVA. But not just the TVA, they are in the Loom Room, the entryway to the place that used to hold the multiversal temporal loom from the Loki series. Remember, that loom is what He Who Remains used to maintain the sacred timeline. And this is the same entryway that we saw Loki go through before destroying that loom and taking his throne at the end of time. And I shit you not, I am getting chills just thinking about the implications of this set video and the Avengers going to the TVA, going to this room, and going to Loki. And the question becomes, what are they there to do? Are they there to warn him about Doom? Are they trying to beat Doom to Loki so that they can protect him? And oh my god, if Thor's stunt double is there, then that means that Thor is there, and we are going to get that Thor-Loki reunion. Recent reports indicate that Shuri is the one who will discover the incursions are happening between not only Universe 616 and the X-Men universe, but other realities as well. And Alan Cumming, who plays Nightcrawler, has said that he recently filmed a scene where he was told he was punching Pedro Pascal. A big part of this movie will of course be the Avengers versus X-Men angle before of course they decide to band together and save the multiverse and stop Doom. Anyway, with Nightcrawler punching Reed, that means that Reed Richards likely makes his way over to the X-Men universe looking for his son Franklin, which Doom is reported to have kidnapped in the post-credit scene of Fantastic Four. It has been reported that the Fantastic Four post-credit scene features Sue reading to Franklin, and she turns her back for a moment, and when she turns back around, she sees Dr. Doom there with Franklin, and it's looking like he will then portal away with the baby. Likely because he wants to use Franklin's powers to help control the multiverse. Keep in mind that in the comics, Franklin, he can create entire universes, he can bend and twist reality to his will, so that's something that Doom is going to want to take advantage of. Now, speaking of Fantastic Four and Doom, the report I'm seeing is that in Fantastic Four, the world leaders are going to meet, kind of like the United Nations, and they're going to be discussing how to handle Galactus. And we will see an empty chair with a place card that reads Latveria. And this empty chair of Latveria's leader is, of course, Victor Von Doom, very likely RDJ's Victor Von Doom. And if this is true, it has pretty big implications for what kind of Doom we are getting with RDJ. This would confirm that we're getting one, a very comic accurate Victor Von Doom, with the added factor of him being a variant of Tony Stark, likely having never been adopted by the Starks in this universe, unlike in the mainline MCU, and instead he stayed with his birth mother, he grew up in Latveria, he moved to the States, and he became a rival of Reed Richards in college, and then he, of course, became the notorious supervillain Dr. Doom. And I think we can safely say that the reason he is likely missing from his chair in this movie is because he is off traveling the multiverse and has his own plan to save it, likely viewing Galactus as a cosmic hiccup to an even grander problem, a collapsing multiverse. And this empty chair that's supposed to have a Robert Downey Jr. sitting in it would also tie to the empty chair in Universe 838 from Multiverse of Madness, that Illuminati lineup where we saw an empty chair that likely belonged to Iron Man, or maybe even Dr. Doom. I mean, we got these Ultron bots, which are a lot like Doom bots, and we can assume that they either belong to Tony or Victor in that Universe 838, and then we could retroactively learn that RDJ, whether he be Tony or Doom in that universe, he was also off-world handling what he foresaw as a bigger threat than the hiccup of the Scarlet Witch. And what would be really cool is if the rumors are true that RDJ is playing several versions of Doom and Tony Stark in this movie, and we could see them all meeting as a Council of Dooms or Starks or whatever they call themselves, just like the Council of Kangs and Quantumania in the comics and the Council of Reeds in the comics. It'd be super dope that if we learned that when Tony created time travel, setting Loki on his course to break the sacred timeline and create the multiverse, he ended up creating these countless versions of himself that are Dooms and Starks and have a multiversal council. In fact, I think that's what they were teasing by having so many Dr. Dooms on stage for the Comic-Con reveal that RDJ was playing Doom. And we could see maybe like a rogue Doom, the primary Doom, like the villain of Doomsday and Secret Wars, and he'll elevate to like God Emperor Doom status and kill his other variants, which was pretty much the rumored plot for when this film was Avengers The Kang Dynasty. We were going to see Kang the Conqueror becoming Kang Prime, killing all of his variants and leveling up to a power level of the Beyonder in Secret Wars, and then him ultimately becoming He Who Remains. So maybe we're going to see a bit of a copy and paste of that plot, but now with Dr. Doom. And perhaps what was going to be the ending of Kang Dynasty is now going to be the ending of Doomsday, and they're just still trying to work out the nitty-gritties of how to make that general plotline work for Doom instead of Kang. But hey, those are just my quick thoughts and theories. I would love to hear yours down in the comments below. If you're new here, be sure to subscribe, hit the bell so you get notified every time I upload a new video. I've been Colton Ogburn, and I will see you next time. Bye!
You're still here. It's over. Go home.